Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to do basic multiplicity assignment. This works really well if you don't have any overlapping. Even if you do, you can get away with it. But this is just the basic one. So I've got these 4 photos right here. I want to load these up in Photoshop. I'm in Bridge right now. I'm going to click on the first photo, hold down Shift, click on the last photo to select all 4 of them. And I'm going to come up here to the top of my screen, go to Tools, Photoshop, Load Files into Photoshop Layers, and I'm going to let Photoshop do its thing. Okay, Photoshop is done. You can see my layers palette over here in the bottom right hand corner. It's got all 4 images of Edgar here, and I'm going to pull it out so we can see a little bit better. You can see it goes from left to right, left, a little bit over, all the way over to right. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make holes in each of these layers so that we can see Edgar in all 4 of them. So we can see all 4 Edgars at once, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on these little eyeballs right here. I want to turn off all but the very bottom one. I'm going to leave that one on. And I'm going to come to the next layer, I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to turn the eyeball on. Make sure you do that. Don't just turn the eyeball on, because I turned that eyeball on, but look, this layer is still selected, and that's going to cause trouble. So make sure, as we work our way up, that we click on the layer, then turn the eyeball on. And you can see this layer is now covering up the Edgar right here. I can't see him anymore. So what I need is a hole in this layer that shows me the Edgar right here. And you can do that with the eraser tool, but a much better way to do it is with the layer mask tool. So this is the layer mask button here in Photoshop. It's hiding down at the bottom of your layers palette. It's a circle inside of a square. I'm going to make sure I'm on my second layer here, and I'm going to click on this, add a layer mask, and you're going to see this white box show up next to the layer. I'm going to click in the white box just to make sure that white box is selected, because you can have the photo selected and not the layer mask. And if we try to do layer masking on the photo instead of the layer mask, bad things happen. So it's a good habit to be into. Just every time you start layer masking, do a little click in the white box. Then I'm going to come over here, I'm going to grab the brush tool, keyboard shortcut B, and you know the drill. The right bracket key will make our brush bigger, the left bracket key makes it smaller. And then I want to make sure my foreground color over here, this box right here, I want to make sure the top box is black. I do that by pressing D and then X on my keyboard. So I press the letter D and then the letter X, and my foreground color now becomes black. And I'm going to come over here, and with a black brush, the black brush when you're layer masking is basically an eraser. It erases part of the image and it makes a hole in it basically. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to make sure I get all of them and all the shadow. If I accidentally screw up and go like that, the great thing about layer masks is all I have to do is come over here and switch this to white by pressing X, or by clicking on this little button right here, and then just paint again. So white makes things, it fills in the hole, and black makes the hole. So you can see my layer mask now. I've got a big black blob right there. I've made a hole. You can see if I turn this layer off, what I've done is made a hole in this layer right here. So now I'm going to turn my next layer on. Again, click on the layer, turn it on, add a layer mask, and now I've got to make an even bigger hole. So my brush is still set to black. Come in here and just make a hole to see. Make a big old hole to bring back both Edgars. You notice, as long as I'm not right next to this guy, I don't need to be super precise, so I can kind of just scribble around here until he shows up all the way. And then good, now I just need to do my last layer. So I'll click on this one, turn it on, add a layer mask, and brush tool, set to black. Be a little careful here along the edge, but other than that, once you've got it there, I could now, if I wanted to, switch to a huge old black brush and just bust the rest of this out really quickly. And there you go. I now have 4 of the same person in a photo using layer masks.